Oh, looks like Jeffrey Boyd's here too. So, hi Jeff. Can you hear us?
He's muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Can you and we
Okay, is this better?
There you go. Yep,
Yep,
there you go.
perfect.
Here's Mike Benzo too.
All right.
Good. How do I get this up? Let's see. Got it. And Kate Scott's here. So wait a minute or two longer to see if anyone else comes or joins us. I thought Corinne Barget would be here at this meeting. So we'll have to see. And I haven't heard from anybody else that's not coming anyway. We'll see. Oh, okay. Wait another minute or two just to make sure there's no one else that's going to join us. Make sure. Got. Oh, good. Hi, Corinne.
Nominated for the MAC.
Here's Corinne. Can hear you. Oh, and Karen Gearing's here as well. Okay. Okay. All right. See, I'm looking at my list here of people who probably would come. See if Jason's gonna come. Oh, that's a nice background. Green.
Green's got
Okay.
and a flowering tree.
Yeah. Mouse is iPhone. Okay. There we go.
Done that yet? Yeah. We do it for some of our, especially if it's public, like I'll put like a picture of the building behind.
Right.
Anything you want, like anything that's on your computer, any photo you have. Or you can download anything, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we'll just start this meeting. Welcome. It's 3:02 p.m. and call to order the meeting of the Soldiers Memorial Commission for the City of St. Louis. Today is Thursday, September 17th, 2020, and my name is Linnea Magnuson and I chair the commission. As per the agenda, the first order of business is the roll call of Soldiers Memorial Commissioners. And in alphabetical order, we'll call them off. And if you can just acknowledge that you're here, that would be great. Corinne Barget, that's here. And Jeffrey Boyd.
Present.
Present. Freddie Dunlap, no Freddie. Maurice Falls. Oh, I'm not sure who this is signing in. See, how do I do this? Hello?
This is Fred Dunlap.
Oh, hello, Freddie. Great. You're here too. Freddie Dunlap's here. Jason Fletcher, not yet here. Tom Gilmore is not here. Judith Hansis is here, of course. I'm here, Linnea Magnuson, and Bruce is here. Last but not least, at the end of the alphabet, Bruce. So let's see if we have a quorum here. We've got 1, 2, 3. Looks like we do have a quorum, so we'll be able to approve some of these meeting minutes, which is a very good thing. So the next order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's see here if I can get this up. So 1 second here. Okay. Oh, and let me share the screen here. 1 second. I'm not doing it. You guys can't see that yet. 1 second.
Did.
I'm sorry, you guys can't see my flag yet. Just give me a second here to get this figured out. Thank you. Can you see the flag now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, great. If you're wondering who the person is in the background here, my husband Mike is here helping me with some of this stuff. So if you see someone else here, it's just Mike. Okay, so Freddie, would you lead us, or excuse me, yeah, Freddie, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I sure will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
and to the republic for which it
which it
stands,
stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Now, let's see, can I go to the next screen? So, okay, and here we've got the agenda up. So as per the agenda, the next item we're going to, next item we're going to discuss is the Pledge of Allegiance, or excuse me, the approval of the meeting minutes. And I have on the agenda here, I did not put the meeting minutes down for September of 2019, but I would like to approve those as well as if we can. So these are the meeting minutes I have from September 19th, 2019. If you want to take a look at them real closely, or for the first time if you haven't seen them before, and then we can call for a vote.
I move we accept the minutes.
Okay, do I have a
Second,
second?
I have
Okay,
a question on
Yeah.
the motion.
sure.
If we didn't advertise within 24 hours about approval of the minutes for September,
We shouldn't do it.
would we be out of order if we approve them without posting that they would be considered for approval?
I wondered that too, and that's what I was thinking that. Do you know about that, Rich?
My guess would be is Alderman Boyd, you are correct. They were not on the agenda, so therefore my recommendation would be is you save those meeting minutes until the next and put it on the agenda.
Thanks a lot. I thought I could also maybe bring it up under new business, but I wasn't sure if that would be appropriate either.
It's a formal approval of a past meeting, so I believe Alderman Boyd is correct.
Got it.
In the future.
I apologize, and thank you very much for doing that, for bringing that up. So I do have the November 2019 meeting minutes on here, so let's go to that one.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Is that
Before I was I didn't get it through, so I haven't got a friend help me.
okay? Okay,
I'm here now.
we can hear you.
I'm
Okay,
having
that's
a
good.
hard time.
It's bad audio, but anyway. Well, right now we're take a look at these meeting minutes from November 21st, 2019. And then if we have a motion, we can approve them as per the agenda.
I move we approve the minutes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, okay. Can I take a vote on that? All those in favor of approving the meeting minutes from November 21st, 2019, please say aye.
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 Anyone
Abs-
opposed?
Abstain.
Abstain,
I
okay,
was not present.
got it. Abstain, let me just make a note of this here. Okay, abstain. It looks like it passed. Well, I don't know if it does pass if we have 4. It doesn't pass if we have 4.
It passed with majority vote.
Simple majority, Linnea.
Simple majority, okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And let's go to the next one here, which I just went back to the last one. This is the one, okay, so I apologize, these are a bit longer. These are meeting minutes when I started taking the meeting minutes. So they're a little bit longer if you need a little time to read them, read through them. But these are the meeting minutes for January 16th, 2020 at 3 p.m.
I read them earlier today and I move that we accept them as published.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the meeting minutes as shown here from January 16th, 2020, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Abstain. This is Freddie.
Freddie abstains, okay. So 1, 20, abstain, ready, okay. So meeting minutes are approved with the simple majority. And we've got one more, and this one is from July 16th, 2020. See if you guys.
This is Bruce. I make a motion to approve them.
Okay. So we have a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
I was not there, so I can't.
Okay. Anybody, I don't know if anyone else was,
But a city councilor has made this point to me before at BPS meetings. You do not have to be present at a meeting to either approve, second, or vote on the minutes. It's simply up.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I second them.
thank you, Judith. We take a vote then. All those in favor of approving the meeting minutes from July 16th, 2020, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
I'm going to abstain even though I was present. I came very late.
I
So out of respect, for not
sure.
hearing the majority of the meeting, I would just like to abstain.
Got it. And that's 7/16/20. Got it. I abstain. Perfect. Okay, I feel very good at least getting some of these approved and through. So thank you very much for that. And let's see, go back to the, oops, back to the agenda here. Oops, and then right to the agenda. All right. So the next thing on the agenda, this is a really good thing, is the announcement of the appointment of Rich Bradley as an honorary commander for the 73rd Airlift Squadron, 932 Airlift Wing at Scott Air Force Base. And this is really great news for us. And Rich, would you like to tell us a little bit about what this means?
Sure. So I haven't exactly started yet. COVID sort of put a little bit of a deflation in that, but I was asked by Colonel Michael Maloney to be an honorary commander. And so just a little bit about it. The 73rd is a VIP Executive Transport Reserve Squadron of the United States Air Force, and it is assigned to Scott Air Force Base. It falls underneath the 932nd Airlift Wing, which is a reserve command unit of approximately 1,100 reservists at Scott Air Force Base, and is referred to commonly as the Gateway Wing. And so the 73rd has a very extensive history. Today, it flies the C-40C Clipper, which is basically a 737 that looks very similar to Air Force One, painted in the same way. And it provides executive and VIP airlift to, many people as far as like senators and representatives and so forth. Anyone south of the president is provided transportation, and they provide this airlift all around the world. And so, as I mentioned, the honorary commander program, the idea of it is to take community leaders with influence, and I say that tongue in cheek a little bit, and match them up with a military commander and unit. And it's supposed to do a couple things. It's to help me learn more about their mission in the institution. And then my role is to help these reserve airmen with different things, challenges and issues that they maybe have being assigned here in the St. Louis area. So I'm looking very forward to doing this and to getting on board. We had our first assigned program here a few weeks ago. If you would have noticed this, there was a C-40C Clipper that flew over the Barnes Jewish Hospital, and it made its routes around St. Louis on a Sunday afternoon, which the mayor joined me for that. And the idea there was to honor our first responders and members of the aeromedical group at Scott Air Force Base for all the work that they have done. And that was a very interesting event to go to. One thing I will mention about this that I found was very interesting is this aircraft has the word United States of America written on it in the exact same font as Air Force One does. And if you don't know this, that font is the same font that's used on the United States Constitution. So
Wow.
pretty historic, pretty interesting. And of course, I've never been in the military and highly respect everyone that is. So I'm looking very forward to doing this assignment.
That's great. Does anyone have any questions for Rich?
Rich,
I do. Go ahead, Freddie.
Rich, what rank are you going to have?
Well, they say it's honorary commander, so I'm guessing
Okay.
it's an honorary position. I don't think there's actually any rank per se, because you're not actually a member of the group. You're a representative, but you know, at the end of the day, helper, whatever I can do to help and support, that's the role I'm going to be doing.
Rich, it's Judith. Congratulations. You deserve to have something like that, and you have so much to offer those people. So it's kudos 6 different ways, and I'm very proud of you.
I thank you very much.
Certainly, I would like to say congratulations.
Yes.
But I'm like Freddie. You know, Freddie and I, of course, are both retired military, and rank has its privileges, and rank is meaningful. And you can't just be called commander without some kind of symbolization of a rank. So, is the current commander a general, a brigadier general, a colonel? What is the current rank of the commander now?
Yeah, so there's actually a commander over the wing, but the actual commander that I am with is let's see, the current commander is Colonel Glenn Collins over the 932nd. And then the actual wing commander is a lieutenant colonel. So that's who I'm working with.
So, if we called you Colonel Bradley, I think that would be appropriate, whether it's lieutenant
Agreed.
colonel or colonel. So, I'm going to call you
Agreed.
Colonel Bradley.
I would have
Okay.
to believe that people in the military would not appreciate that. I take the honorary title and just keep that on the lowdown. Again, it's all about helping people. So I support our military, and just like this group here, you all are veterans of the service, and I'm very honored just to be a member of this group as well. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Alderman.
And Rich, I got one more thing. I spent a lot of years at Scott in many different organizations, at the base there. Anything that I can do to help you, just call on me.
So I appreciate that, Freddie. The one thing they told me that I need to get familiar with, and I don't understand this terminology, well, maybe you veterans can help me, is they said there's a lot of events that we'll go to, and then we're always going to meet at some facility called the BAR afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's kind of like the saloon.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that clarification.
That's good. That was good. Does anybody else have anything?
This is Bruce. I'm also a veteran, as you know, and along with the rest of you. But I'm very pleased and honored and proud that we're doing this, and that Rich has this special appointment.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Rich.
Thank you, Bruce. Very much appreciated.
It's a wonderful honor, and it's also, I think, a great bridge again between Soldiers Memorial, hopefully, and the commission, and then
Yes.
Terry, and anything we can do to strengthen those relationships, I think are really important. So I'm glad Mark's here and he can hear this too, and maybe we can help foster this relationship and bring something together with Soldiers Memorial at some point in the future. out of it.
Yeah, congratulations, Rich. And yeah, I think you're absolutely correct, Linnea, that creating those bridges is going to be the key. And it's a great opportunity, and I'm very, very pleased that you went the Air Force route, Rich.
Hey.
I know this has come up. I'm not even going there, even though my father and uncles and grandfather and everybody were sailors. I'm going to stay away from the whole conversation.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, you're better off not getting into it, really.
Yeah.
You guys,
Since I was Navy, I think so too.
you guys can be rest assured that I will promote Soldiers Memorial and make sure that they all know about it and get over and visit, because I think it is definitely a crown jewel of St. Louis. So
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Rich, and thank you for telling us about it. And we hope to
I-
hear about it in the future more.
I'd also like to say
Corinne.
congratulations, Rich. Well deserved.
Thank you, Colonel.
I think it'd be a very interesting adventure, and also if there's anything I can do to help, that'd be great.
Greatly appreciated. Thank you all for your support.
Okay, are we ready to move on to the next agenda item then?
Yes.
Mark, I think if we are, then you're up, I believe.
Okay, I'll go through a number of different areas. First, I'll give you kind of an update as far as where we are operating under COVID. We reduced our hours, and I think I've explained some of this before, but at the sake of boring you, I'll repeat some of it as quickly as I can. But we reduced our hours. We're closed now on Mondays and Tuesdays, open Wednesday through Sunday, 10 to 5. That's the same hours, but closed on those Mondays and Tuesdays now. And we have capacity restrictions in the galleries to 15 individuals at any given time within each one of the galleries. Individuals must be wearing masks while they're in the building and maintaining that 6 feet distance between themselves and any, folks that they don't know. That along with, a number of hand sanitizing stations throughout the building, and a number of barriers that we've, acrylic barriers between our frontline staff and the resource protection officers and the city marshal Vernon to help them keep their distance as well. Those measures are in place. So guests are receiving that well. We have had very, very few, complaints. And in fact, it's quite the opposite, where people are grateful to see the protections in place during their visit. So that's going well. And we, along with that, we've stopped all rentals and any on-site public programming. So there's essentially no public gatherings at Soldiers. And that actually goes for our other 2 Missouri Historical Society sites, the History Museum up at Forest Park and the Library and Research Center there on Skinker. So those will remain in place at least through the end of 2020. So no changes in that. So of course, just as I'm sure you realize and have thought about, I mean, the attendance is down quite drastically from where we were last year. And that's just not us, but that's, any of the museums in the city and different, restaurants and everything, as you know. So that is obviously disappointing, but it is where it is. And we're going to get through this together. So that's the kind of a COVID and operational update. We've been doing a number of things with the commissioning of the newest USS St. Louis. The commissioning of that ship happened on August 8th, 2020, so not too long ago. So that is the 7th ship to carry that name on the seas. So I'm very proud of that. And we have done a number of things with the commissioning committee. Barbara Taylor is the sponsor of that ship, and as sponsor, she's responsible for a number of the key ceremonies and traditions that accompany that construction phase and the launching and the eventual commissioning of the ship. Of course, a lot of the commissioning events were drastically altered because of COVID. I think it was the first, or at least one of the first ships to be commissioned under these kind of virtual protocols. There was a few people on board, but nothing like you would have seen had it been given normal times. But they did get it commissioned, and to support that, we have a small display on exhibit on the 2nd floor in room 207. That's people have enjoyed, but it covers the history of each of the 7 ships. We have the champagne bottle that Barbara Taylor broke across the bow of the ship to christen the ship back in 2018. That is on display along with a number of models that I believe they came into the collection around 2005. believe is the year that they came in. So those are all currently on display. So, and we coupled that with the need for acoustical paneling in those meeting rooms. Of course, when we did that, we thought we were going to have meetings in there, but that's not happening.
Yeah.
But we'll get back in there someday. But the display has been well received. And then I'm also working on a banner show that will go first into the Missouri Athletic Club, the downtown branch, and then that'll also initiate that kind of rotation. So we'll change out the display that's currently on display in 1520 Market Street with a different display there, and then we'll have another display installed at the Mac West, yeah.
Okay.
And
Can you say that one more time? So about where these are going to go, like downtown
Yeah.
would be the USS St. Louis?
Yep. So the last couple of years, what we've been doing is there's 3 locations: the
Right.
Mac Downtown, 1520 Market, and then Mac West. And
Right.
each year we rotate out a new a banner show. So we create one new one each year, and then the other ones rotate to the sites where they haven't been yet.
I got it. All right.
So the new one this year focuses strictly on the new USS St. Louis. So it's a little less of a history lesson as it is a kind of a promotion of that ship and expanding awareness that we are, St. Louis is once again on the seas.
Focus on the new USS St. Louis. Got it.
Correct.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Yep. And then the last piece that we've been doing with that is we've been working with Channel 9 to produce a 1-hour documentary that's a little bit of the history, but then also focusing on this newest ship. So really kind of a big push to raise awareness and get, I think as we've been talking with Channel 9 and developing that story, we're trying to build civic pride as well. And the idea that I think St. Louis should be proud that there's another naval ship that's now newly named after the city. It's a littoral combat ship. It's a fast, agile ship. I'm sure it'll serve an important role in the defense of the country. And I think that part of that story we're trying to tell is that civic pride, and that you want people to be aware that this is a thing, and that it's a special thing. So, but we've been working on that. One other thing, display update, we rotated out. There's a long exhibit case in the West Gallery that holds recent acquisitions. So stuff that we've taken into the Soldiers Memorial Collection in the past, hopefully last year. We try to turn it around as quickly as we possibly can, but just right prior to 9/11 this year, we were able to put items that then Major Grant Dowdy had acquired while he was serving in the Pentagon on 9/11. So it was his ID badge and a piece of the Pentagon that he had collected. And so we were able to rotate out that exhibit case prior to 9/11. And so that was a nice thing to pull off. And I know his father-in-law called down here and chatted with him a little bit, and he was excited to come and see the objects that Grant had donated on display. So, and then, Mike Venso, our curator, had established a good relationship with Grant Dowdy and had let Grant know that we were able to get those items on display. So just a nice thing. Not a huge change to the galleries or anything, but a nice kind of change out and a nice addition to be able to tell that story, especially to be timely on it in that way. Staffing wise, I know Shay had left us back in March, and then unfortunately Marvin left us, I believe about 3 weeks ago for a new career opportunity outside of the Washington, D.C. area. So he will be missed. I know he was obviously very friendly and personable, and the kind of guy that everybody liked. And so it was hard for us, as a team, really, to lose his his friendship and his camaraderie. Well, not his friendship, we're still friends, but to lose that kind of on-site camaraderie in working with him. So I know he'll be missed, but that's a little bit of a staffing update. And then finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about Veterans Day. Had worked with Linnea and Travis Hauser, whose office special events, I believe is the correct title.
Yeah.
And, you know, with COVID and, you know, our restriction on no public programming, you know, the traditional Veterans Day ceremony was kind of scuttled, and the parade was not going to be able to do that. So we've come up with a kind of a virtual way to do the parade. We've reached out to over 160 individuals or organizations that have been involved with the parade in the at least the past year, as far as we can tell from Travis's records that he acquired from Kathy Best there in the office. But we emailed those folks and sent them some instructions to submit a very short video thanking veterans and expressing any well wishes that they wanted to thank veterans on Veterans Day. And then they're submitting those into the Missouri Historical Society, and they'll be strung together basically into what I'm thinking of as kind of a virtual parade. So it's, you know, one organization after another being able to thank veterans. And so trying to, you know, do a couple things with that. One is the pure act of thanking veterans, which is obviously very important to us and to most other people on Veterans Day, but then also making sure that, you know, even if we can't have the parade this year, we can maintain that relationship with those who have been involved and give those who have been involved in the past a way to continue to be involved. So you know, we don't lose them all together, so to speak. And then just yesterday, I spoke with the French Alliance, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with that organization, but I'm going to forget the number, but for over 30 years, I think maybe for over 40 years, they've been laying a wreath at Soldiers Memorial on Veterans Day. So I chatted with them yesterday, and we discussed a way to do that virtually so we can keep everybody safe, but they'll be able to give a short presentation at their typical schedule, which is at, you know, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, to have them have a way to send that message out this year as well. So we got a lot of those details just figured out yesterday, actually. So
I'm really glad to hear that. That's good.
yeah, it's, you know, it's a matter of just trying to be creative and trying to pivot and do things that, you know, in a way that continues up the tradition, that albeit in a slightly different way. So I am going to stop there. I'll be happy to take any questions and do my best to field those. But so if you have any thoughts or questions, I'm all ears.
Anybody have any questions for Mark? I put on here that it was also for updating the Veterans Day events for Veterans Day 2020. I put other plannings, Mark Sunlove, and commissioners. Judith, would you be able to tell us a little bit about what's going to happen at the MAC this year?
Sure, I'd be glad to.
Thank you.
We are also having a virtual event for the first time for Veterans Day. And we're going to do all the things we regularly do at the luncheon, but it's going to be virtual.
Okay.
And we'll have, once I have the information on how to connect with that program, Linnea, I will get it to you so you can get it out to the commission and to others who may be interested.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to make a special thanks for the continuing support of the Missouri Historical Society, and especially Soldiers Memorial. Mark has really done a magnificent job each year creating an exhibit that I rarely pass through the lobby of the downtown or the West MAC where someone isn't, at least one person, usually more, are not there looking at the displays. So it's been highly successful. We do it from October through November, so they get 2 months of exposure to things that give tribute to our veterans.
I agree. And I also would point out too that with Bruce, the one at 1520 Market really adds a lot to that lobby area, and it kind of gives a little bit more of an insight into what's important, I think, to the people of St. Louis in some ways, to have that exhibit up there. So it's really good that it's not only at the MAC, but that it's actually at a city building, 1520 Market as well. And it seems like there's a place made for the panels there too. So it looks great.
What I do when I see people looking is I'll stop and talk with them about Soldiers Memorial and find out what their interest in is, and then send them off to look for something specific that I know is on display. And so I hope that's creating business.
That's great. Wow. Wow. Okay, so anybody have anything else to add about something that's going to be happening on Veterans Day? Or have any questions about Veterans Day? And I'll make sure and pass on any information that I have to this group immediately. So everyone should be able to stay up to date on what's happening, and if there's any changes, of course.
As soon as the videos are available to view, I would certainly appreciate having that information so I can start sharing it with the groups where I am an active member.
I think so too. That would be wonderful.
And I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else from Mark? Do you have anything else you want to add on any of the things going on at Soldiers Memorial, or if there's anything more about the Veterans Day observance coming up?
Can I be heard? Can you hear me?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, I was having problems with this new device I have. So anyway, I'm just kind of curious as to what can we expect virtually, potentially. I know it's not finalized for a virtual Veterans Day. I mean, when I think of Veterans Day and coming down and sitting there, on the steps of Soldier Memorial and the parade and, different events and even the tours of Soldier Memorial, what would that potentially look like virtually?
The big push is to get this video created, and that is, we've reached out to over those 160 organizations, and they're sending in videos, and these are organizations that have typically marched in the parade in previous years, or have been involved in some other way. So the idea that we came up with was to essentially, they're not marching, they're not congregating in large groups. That parade aspect isn't happening, but we wanted a way to both show veterans that they live in a grateful community and there's a lot of support out there for them, and also to enable these organizations that have been participating for so long the opportunity. So the video that will be produced is essentially these very short, 15-second segments from each organization expressing their gratitude, all strung into a single, tied into one single kind of a parade of organizations as we kind of visualized it being presented. So that was that's the kind of the virtual look of that.
Okay, so I'm relatively new to the commission. One of the questions I've asked, for the past couple of years is how many veterans work for the city of St. Louis? And I always thought that if there was a way, we can't do it this year, but I'm just giving you some thought for hopefully next year we won't be experiencing COVID-19. But, I thought it'd be so cool if all the city employees who were veterans would be in a platoon or within a group that would march in the parade.
That's a great idea.
I think that would be so awesome. And also, I've been an alderman 17 years. I have not really seen a whole lot on group email from the city of St. Louis promoting Veterans Day and encouraging, employees to to pay by coming down or just saying hello to a veteran or anything like that. I would hope that since this is all virtual this year, that we would have some kind of plan in place to do a social media post to make sure that, you know, it's promoted on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and maybe there's an opportunity for everybody that's on the commission, especially those who are veterans, to just be part of this experience with this video that you're talking about, Mark. And maybe we make some comments about what it means to us to be a veteran and have served our country and to be, you know, part of the commission in this whole experience. I'm just throwing this out there because I'm new, but I'm the kind of person that I'm so unorthodox. I just don't, I get tired of doing the same old stuff because it's easy to do. And maybe, you know, I'm always looking for a different way of presenting the message to the community. I certainly have marched in the parade, you know, quite a bit. And I'm so excited when I see constituents, or I just see people that know me, that wave at me. You know, it just makes me feel so good. It made me feel so proud to have served, because people are, you know, it's cold outside most of the time. And they really come out to show their appreciation. It's probably one of the, I hate to say this, I don't want to be negative, one of the weakest attended parades when you think about all the other parades that, you know, we do downtown. And I would really like to be part of the experience of trying to, you know, help it grow, if you will, you know, so that people can really get excited. Because I really think in America, we take for granted the sacrifice that so many of our veterans make for our freedom. I mean, when you think about all the protests that's going on in America, for whatever reason, you know, whether you're protesting abortion rights or whether you're protesting, you know, police killing, you know, civilians, whatever it may be, you get to do that on the back of veterans. And I don't think people really realize that. I mean, because it's like you're just born and you have these rights and freedoms, but most Americans have no clue the sacrifice. As a matter of fact, I bet you most Americans have no clue on what percentage of Americans ever served their country. So anyway, I'm not gonna get on a soapbox. I just want to kind of throw some stuff out there because I'm excited about being on a commission, and you know, I want to do goodwill. I'm one of these kind of people that I don't like to serve just to have my name on a piece of stationery or anything like that. You know, I really take public service, you know, personally and to heart, and I want to do goodwill. So use me in whatever way you think is valuable, so we can continue to build on what we have here. You know, I've heard a lot of laudatory comments about the Missouri History Society and how they made a significant impact, you know, with the Soldiers Memorial, and I just want to be part of continuing to help build. So I just wanted to say that.
You know, I think those are great ideas. And what I can do is I will get with Mark and talk to him a little bit more about the video and see if somehow we can make this something more like what you've just described, with the Soldiers Memorial Commissioners participating. I've already talked to some people at the city about ways we can get this, this event publicized and promoted on social media through the city. But we also, though, I think the idea about somehow, years ago, I can't even remember when it was a long time ago, I tried to compile a list of all the city employees who had been veterans with something like you've described in mind, and it just never got very far. And I think it would be a great time to revisit that. And I'd like to do that. So I will talk to Rich and see what we can, if we can come up with some way to make that work, or and move that sort of thing forward.
And I tell you what, on that point also, if we could find out, and just imagine if the mayor could send a letter to every employee that's a veteran, just saying, thank you for your service to our city, and more importantly, thank you for your service to our country. I just think that would be so awesome.
That's a great idea. I'm writing notes here. If you're wondering, I'm not looking down for no reason. I'm just writing some notes here. Okay.
I remember when they might be what you were talking about, this is Bruce, people were identifying a number of years ago if they had returns or not. I know my picture was one of them, and along with a lot of others.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking personnel might even have that information.
that's a good idea.
Of course, a lot of things may have changed over the years. However, we can start there too.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay. Okay.
And by the way, I'm gonna plug myself. You know, a few years ago, 2014, I did the Veterans Preference Bill for the city of St. Louis to give
Very good.
veterans some point preferences for hiring.
Great.
Very good.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
You're welcome.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else they would like to add to that or any questions? Okay. I think then we're moving on to basically the end of our agenda here. I'll call for questions, new business, or announcements of any kind that somebody may have.
I do have something. Now, I'm new and looking at the minutes and the agenda. Lynn, I'm not sure if we can just do a new business
Okay.
item. I think if you call for new business, you have to identify to the public what that new business looked like,
Okay, I will check
and
into
so
that.
that you would have, so they would be aware of the conversation. And if there's a potential vote to be taken on the new business, we would have informed them ahead of time so that we don't violate any sunshine rules.
I will follow up on that because I am new to this sort of thing. And so I'll definitely follow up and see if I need to make that clear or take that off the agenda in some way.
No, it should be on the agenda, but you can always have no new business. But if you do, it's a section that calls for it, which is appropriate. It's just,
Okay.
I think you have to advertise the new business you're going to talk about.
So the way I would interpret that is new business can certainly be brought up to discuss, but you couldn't vote on it. You're 100% right. And then that new business would then become an agenda item in the following meeting where it would be voted on. So I think what it really is a call for anything that you guys want to talk about that otherwise is not on the agenda today, but I don't think you could vote on it. You're correct.
Okay. Okay, so I may need to change how that's phrased, you think, Rich? Or
I
can
think you can leave it as new business. Just know that anything that comes up in this, you cannot vote on in this meeting.
Okay, that makes sense. Like I said earlier, I was mistaken then completely with the September meeting minutes. Okay, so no voting on new business items. Thank you. Anything else, anyone? Thank you very much. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second,
Second, all those in favor of adjourning the meeting?
aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Lynn. Great job.